So by now you probably see the viral church story where the pastor was asking for specific donations. The rhetoric was he rebuked the woman who failed to meet the donation cap at church. If you didn't see that story, I'm going to post the video here now for you so that you could see the video.
Pastor Marvin Winans hosted a day of giving. Members of Perfecting Church were asked to donate $1,000 and raise another $1,000 to help finish the new sanctuary in Detroit and support their community programs.
So basically, the church members were asked to raise $1,000 themselves. And not only raise $1,000 themselves, but get another $1,000 raised outside their own money. So a total of $2,000 cash to bring in on the day at church as donations. I all for churches getting their donations, but I like it to be just that, a donation. A donation don't have a set limit amount. A donation is what you could afford to donate.
Pastor Winans asked those giving $2,000 or more to come to the front of the church first, with others following, from the largest donors to those donating as little as $1.62. But one member, Roberta McCoy, went viral after someone posted video of her coming to the front with less than $2,000, claiming she was rebuked by Pastor Winans. I spoke exclusively with both Pastor Winans and Roberta McCoy, who says she's been attacked online since that video began spreading.
You see the video, right? You hear the news reporters say their piece on it, their commentary. We're going to talk about the financial segregation part of it a little later down in the video. The rumor that starts spreading, which apparently was false, is that the pastor rebuked this church member because of her less than donation. Because apparently she was in the wrong line. But now that that video has gone viral, the woman in question, the church member, has been getting a lot of violent comments and messages and disturbing her peace. And they're here to clear the air. Apparently, the rumor that was spread that she was rebuked by the pastor was wrong. And this is her take on it.
You're the woman in that viral video.
Right.
He did not rebuke you.
He absolutely did not rebuke me. Now, there's a difference. There was a correction, because let me clearly state that pastor gave instruction on the lines to get into.
So basically what she's trying to say is the pastor had given instructions when it was time to donate. The pastor told them, you're coming up according to the amount that you're donating. The people who donating the full $2,000 or over, apparently they get to come first. Then they follow by smaller amounts and chunks. That don't sit right with me. I don't know if it don't sit right with you, but to me that don't sit right with me. But let me hear what exactly the pastor had to say about this.
I was calling because the whole church was giving. And it was our day of giving, and the whole church was coming, and we didn't want people standing, the mothers and all that, so I was calling them by increments. And we had someone that had given out of before, and I corrected it, and I told everybody to listen and come when you call, and that's all that was.
Roberta told me Pastor Winans personally apologized to her. She's been a member of Perfecting Church since 2013 and has given faithfully over the years and will continue to do so.
According to Pastor Marvin, he don't want the congregation, the entire congregation, to come and line up and have to wait in long lines just to get their donations to the church. So his solution to that was, instead of going row by row, let me say first row come first, then we go second row, and we go down the road like that. Instead of doing that, Pastor Marvin decided that we're going to do this line-up system according to how much money you have to donate. That is a financial segregation. If I have only $10 to put, and that is all the money I have in my whole financial state for the rest of the month, and that is all I could donate, you as a pastor are going to make me feel less than by lining up in a line probably an hour after other people because they have more money to donate? Tell me how that makes sense. A church is a place where you're supposed to go to feel welcome. A church is a place you're supposed to go to feel appreciated. A church is not a place that you're supposed to pay to enter. What is this, a nightclub or something? The more popular and financially well-off people come in first, and they get the preference, and then the people who have all the love for the club itself and for what it represents, they can't come in because they can't afford the cap set by you as the leader of the congregation, I had fallout big with religion, and it spilled over into falling out with God and everything, the whole concept. I reached a stage in life where I could say that I was wrong, and I was influenced by people like this pastor, like people like Pastor Marvin. I saw religion not for what it was, and not for a means to have a communication with God, but as a business. And can you blame me? And can I blame anybody else who would look at religion and look at people like this who representing the religion that they claim to love, that they claim to do for the glory of God, and make it about finances? You get to come first because you could afford the price I set. But from the time you can afford the price I set, go and sit in the back of the church and come when I call you. What kind of stupidness is that? That is not the way a religious institution is supposed to operate. But again, when we have pastors treating religion like a business instead of a means to help people communicate and reach closer to God, then we get people like this. Then we get people like Pastor Marvin Sapp. Then we get other people who only pastors by name, religious leaders by name, who only focus on fattening their own pockets and building their financial status, as if the money they're making going to build a ladder that's taking them to heaven to meet God. It's bullshit. The worst thing is the way that they brainwash people. I feel so sorry for this lady, this poor old lady, who has been donating, as she said, to this church for a number of years. And she's still going to keep on donating for the church. I'm not saying donating to our church is a bad thing. Donate to our church that appreciate your donations. Not somebody who's going to tell you, because you don't meet the financial cap, you're in the wrong line. And next time you need to do better. Either make more or get in line with your financial class. Where is this? India? This is not a caste system. This is not built on skin color, on financial status, on the texture you hear. This is a means to get closer to God. And if you, as the leader of this organization, can't accept that that is your role, not to hoard money and not to give preference to people who are financially superior than others, then you lost as a leader and you're leading your congregation into damnation. I say that. Now, I am a stage 4 cancer survivor, and I put together a free ebook on nutrition, foods that you want to eat, foods that you want to stay away from, and options that you could substitute to make your diet a little more interesting, whether you're going through chemotherapy treatment and radiation, or you're trying to prevent yourself from getting cancer on the whole. So if you want to check that out, it's going to be the first link in the description, and it's completely free. So you could go ahead, download it as many times as you like. For Them Fellows Reviews, it's Jeremy. Later.